Welcome, seekers of wisdom. Today we embark on a journey through the labyrinth of human thought, exploring the profound questions that have stirred minds for millennia. Prepare to delve into the essence of existence, the nature of reality, and the pursuit of truth. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the horizon stretching infinitely. This ocean represents the unknown, and our desire to comprehend it is the essence of philosophy. From the earliest civilizations, humans have gazed at the stars, pondered their purpose, and sought to understand their place in the cosmos. Philosophy, derived from the Greek philosophia meaning love of wisdom, is not merely an academic discipline but a way of life. It's the relentless pursuit of knowledge, the courage to question, and the humility to accept uncertainty. What is real? Is the world we perceive through our senses the true reality? Or is there a deeper, perhaps hidden, layer beneath? Consider the allegory of the cave, where individuals see only shadows on a wall, mistaking them for reality. When one escapes and sees the world in its true form, they realize the depth of their ignorance. This metaphor challenges us to question our perceptions. Are we seeing the world as it is, or merely shadows cast by our limited understanding? Who are you? Beyond your name, occupation, or social roles, what defines your essence? The exploration of the self leads us into the realm of consciousness. Is the self a constant, unchanging entity, or a fluid construct shaped by experiences and perceptions? Some philosophies suggest that the self is an illusion, a narrative we create to make sense of our experiences. Others argue for a core identity, a soul that persists through change. This debate invites introspection. Reflect on your own sense of self. Is it a fixed point, or does it evolve with time and experience? What is the right thing to do? Ethics seeks to answer this by examining the principles that govern our actions. Should we act out of duty, considering the moral law within us? Or should we evaluate actions based on their consequences, aiming for the greatest good for the greatest number? These questions are not merely theoretical. They influence our daily decisions, from personal relationships to societal structures. By contemplating ethical frameworks, we gain insight into our values and the kind of world we wish to create. Why are we here? This question has inspired countless philosophies, religions, and personal quests. Some propose that life has an inherent purpose, a destiny to fulfill. Others suggest that meaning is not given but created through our actions and choices. In the face of an indifferent universe, the search for meaning becomes a personal journey. It's about finding significance in our relationships, passions, and contributions to the world. Are we truly free? Or are our choices determined by factors beyond our control? The debate between free will and determinism examines whether our actions are the result of autonomous decision-making or predetermined by genetics, environment, and past experiences. Understanding this dynamic influences our sense of responsibility, justice, and personal growth. Should we trust our reason or our emotions? This dichotomy has been central to philosophical discourse. Reason offers clarity, consistency, and objectivity. Emotion provides depth, empathy, and motivation. A balanced approach recognizes the value of both. Reason guides us in making informed decisions, while emotion connects us to others and imbues life with richness. What is the ideal relationship between the individual and society? Some philosophies prioritize individual freedom, advocating for minimal interference. Others emphasize the collective good, promoting structures that ensure equality and justice. This tension shapes political ideologies, laws, and cultural norms. Reflecting on this balance helps us navigate our roles as citizens and community members. What can we know? Epistemology, the study of knowledge, questions the nature, sources, and limits of understanding. Can we attain absolute knowledge, or is all understanding provisional, subject to revision? Acknowledging the limitations of our knowledge fosters humility and openness to new perspectives. What happens after death? This question has inspired diverse beliefs and philosophies. Some view death as a transition to another existence, while others see it as the end of consciousness. Contemplating mortality can lead to a deeper appreciation of life, prompting us to live authentically and purposefully. What is beauty? Aesthetics explores the nature of art, beauty, and taste. Is beauty objective, existing independently of observers, or subjective, varying with individual perception? Engaging with art and beauty enriches our lives, offering insight into the human condition and evoking profound emotional responses. As we advance technologically and socially, new philosophical questions emerge. How do artificial intelligence, virtual realities, and global interconnectedness reshape our understanding of consciousness, identity, and ethics? Philosophy remains vital, providing tools to navigate these uncharted territories with critical thinking and ethical consideration. Philosophy begins with wonder. It's that moment when the ordinary becomes extraordinary, when a simple observation transforms into a deep question. Why is there something rather than nothing? Why do we exist? From ancient times, humans have been troubled by the uncertainties of life. They sought answers not just through religion or myth, but by thinking deeply and systematically. The early philosophers weren't looking to memorize facts, they wanted to grasp the essence of things. This quest isn't confined to dusty books or old stone temples. Every time we sit quietly and think about the purpose of life, or the ethics of our decisions, or the mystery of time, we are engaging in philosophy. It's not about finding all the answers, it's about being brave enough to ask the hardest questions. That journey doesn't end, it only deepens. The world we see is filtered through our senses, shaped by culture, and interpreted through personal experience. But what if reality lies beyond perception? Many philosophical traditions argue that our senses deceive us. A stick in water looks bent. A mirage seems like an oasis. Optical illusions trick the eye. If our senses can be fooled, how can we trust them to reveal the truth? Philosophers like Descartes tried to peel away everything uncertain to discover what could not be doubted. I think, therefore I am was his foundational truth, but even that raised new questions. If our mind can doubt everything, including the world around us, then maybe reality is mental, not physical. Other schools, like materialism, argue the opposite, that the physical world is all there is, and consciousness is just a product of the brain. Then there's the idea of simulation, one of the most modern philosophical questions. Could our entire reality be a sophisticated program? While it sounds like science fiction, it echoes ancient philosophical skepticism. Can we ever know the true nature of reality? Consciousness remains one of the greatest mysteries. What is it that gives us the experience of being aware, of feeling, thinking, dreaming? The mind-body problem, how our mental experiences arise from physical processes, has puzzled thinkers for centuries. Some argue consciousness is fundamental, like space and time. Others see it as an emergent property of brain complexity. Yet the self, the eye behind the eyes, adds another layer. Who is this observer? Is it a stable, singular entity? Or are we just a bundle of experiences, memories, and reactions? Buddhist philosophy suggests that the self is an illusion, a useful fiction that helps us navigate the world but has no real, independent existence. Modern neuroscience sometimes agrees. The brain creates a sense of self for organizational purposes. But if the self is a construct, does that change how we treat ourselves and others? Or does it make our internal lives even more precious, brief flickers of awareness in a vast impersonal cosmos? At the heart of philosophy lies ethics, the study of how we should live. Every decision, big or small, involves a moral dimension. Should I tell the truth, even if it hurts someone? Should I act in my own interest or consider the needs of others? Moral philosophies often fall into three categories: consequentialism, deontology, and virtue ethics. Consequentialism asks, what will produce the best outcome? It's practical and results-driven. Deontology, however, emphasizes duty and principle. Some actions are right or wrong, regardless of outcomes. And virtue ethics focuses on character, becoming the kind of person who naturally does the right thing. But morality isn't fixed. Cultures differ in their values. What's considered virtuous in one society may be frowned upon in another. That doesn't mean morality is meaningless. It means it's a living conversation, constantly evolving as societies grow and change. By reflecting on our ethical beliefs, we gain clarity not just about what's right, but why it's right. When stripped of distractions, when we're alone with our thoughts, the question arises, why am I here? The search for meaning is uniquely human. We build religions, philosophies, relationships, all to find some kind of answer. Some say the universe is indifferent, cold, vast, and silent. Others believe in a cosmic plan, a purpose woven into the fabric of existence. But there's also a third path. That meaning isn't found, it's created. Through our actions, our love, our creativity, we carve meaning into an otherwise blank canvas. The existentialist philosophers emphasized authenticity, living in a way that reflects our true selves, not just conforming to roles or expectations. To them, meaning doesn't descend from the heavens. It's constructed moment by moment, through choices. Whether we believe in a grand design or a godless universe, the act of seeking meaning is a defining feature of being human. Do we really have a choice? Or are our decisions just the inevitable outcome of prior causes? If every thought, every impulse, every action is traceable to genetics, environment, or past events, can we be said to act freely? Determinism suggests a clockwork universe where everything happens according to fixed laws. Under this view, the future is already written. But if that's true, what happens to moral responsibility? Can we blame or praise someone if they had no real choice? Others argue for compatibilism, the idea that free will and determinism can coexist. Even if our choices are influenced, we still deliberate, reflect, and act. That process itself is freedom. True or not, the belief in free will shapes society. Laws, relationships, and goals all rest on the assumption that we can choose differently. So even if freedom is limited, the aspiration to be free to act with intention and awareness remains one of our noblest traits. Philosophy often elevates reason as the path to truth. Logic is clean, structured, reliable. Yet human beings are emotional creatures. We laugh, cry, rage, and rejoice sometimes for no apparent reason. Some traditions view emotion as a distraction from truth. The Stoics, for example, taught that we should remain untroubled by emotions, responding to life with calm rationality. But is a life without feeling really desirable? Others, like the Romantics, saw emotion as a source of deep wisdom. Love, fear, all these experiences connect us to truths that reason alone cannot reach. Emotions give life color and meaning. Rather than choosing one over the other, perhaps the answer lies in integration. Reason helps us see clearly. Emotion helps us care. When the two work together, we not only understand the world, we feel its weight, its beauty, its urgency. No one exists in a vacuum. We are shaped by families, cultures, institutions. But where do we draw the line between personal freedom and social responsibility? Some philosophies argue that the individual is sovereign. Society should exist to serve individual liberty. Others suggest that individual fulfillment is only possible within a just and supportive community. The balance is delicate. Too much emphasis on the individual can lead to selfishness, inequality, and division. Too much emphasis on the group can suppress uniqueness, creativity, and dissent. Modern debates about identity, freedom of speech, and social justice all stem from this fundamental tension. We each carry a unique voice, but that voice echoes within a shared world. Philosophy helps us navigate that dynamic, seeking harmony without uniformity, and unity without erasing difference. How do we know what we know? Can we trust our beliefs? Epistemology, the study of knowledge, challenges us to examine our assumptions. There's a difference between belief and knowledge. Belief is subjective. Knowledge requires justification. But even justified beliefs can turn out to be wrong. History is filled with once certain truths later disproven, like geocentrism or the idea that illness comes from bad air. Skepticism plays a crucial role. By doubting, we refine our understanding. But too much skepticism can paralyze us. The goal is not to abandon knowledge, but to pursue it humbly. In a world overflowing with information, the challenge isn't just to know more, but to know wisely. Philosophy doesn't offer easy answers. It trains us to think better, to ask deeper, and to sift the signal from the noise. Nothing is more certain than death, and nothing is more mysterious. Despite all our advances, death remains a boundary we cannot cross and return. Some see death as an end, complete cessation of consciousness. Others believe in reincarnation, resurrection, or a spiritual afterlife. The truth remains unknown, yet the impact of our beliefs is profound. For some, the awareness of death brings fear or despair. For others, it sharpens life's meaning, urging us to live fully while we can. Philosophers throughout history have encouraged us to meditate on death, not as morbid obsession, but as a path to wisdom. When we face our mortality, petty concerns fall away. We see what truly matters: connection, courage, creation. Death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it. And in understanding death, we may finally understand how to live. Why do we create art? Why do we care about beauty? Aesthetic philosophy explores these questions. Some argue that art imitates life. Others believe it reveals truths beyond words. Beauty, too, is debated. Is it universal, rooted in symmetry, harmony, proportion? Or is it entirely subjective, varying with taste and context? What's clear is that art moves us. A painting, a song, a film, they can evoke emotions we struggle to articulate. They can inspire, challenge, or comfort. Art is more than decoration. It's how we express what cannot be said. In moments of awe standing before a masterpiece or lost in a melody, we glimpse something transcendent. The world is changing rapidly. Artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, climate change, and digital realities raise questions our ancestors never imagined. Can machines be conscious? Do algorithms have ethics? How do we maintain humanity in a world increasingly shaped by non-human forces? Philosophy must evolve not by abandoning tradition, but by applying timeless wisdom to new frontiers. It offers a compass not pointing to fixed answers, but helping us navigate uncertainty with depth and care. In the face of rapid change, philosophy reminds us what matters: truth, justice, meaning, and the enduring question, what does it mean to be human? We have journeyed through time and thought, from the questions of ancient sages to the dilemmas of modern minds. Philosophy is not an escape from life. It is a deeper dive into it. It does not offer certainty, but insight. It does not demand belief, but invites reflection. In asking questions, we become more human. In seeking truth, we grow. And in sharing this journey with others, we find connection.